deserve one. I don't even deserve an old one. And man, it'd be all right if God put me to walk in. But everybody else in the building, man, I'll tell you, they deserve a new automobile. God ought to give them all brand new. Y'all are listening, right? Amen. Man, I'm telling you, I don't deserve one of them $1,300 three-piece suits. I really don't even deserve the $5 sport jacket that I can get at Goodwill. I'm glad God lets me get it, but I don't deserve it. But every other man in this building, boy, they deserve a $1,300 three-piece suit. I wish God would give it to you.
Amen.
I'm saying that from the heart. All I deserve is dirt. See, this is a challenge because there's a conflict going on between your ears, friend, that constantly fights against this.
Yeah. Right.
Adam is trying to convince you that you're worthy.
Yeah. That's right.
Adam is trying to convince you that if anybody deserves anything, it's you. It isn't anybody else in the building. It's not anybody else associated with your life. That you are the man. Am I telling you the truth?
Amen.
Amen.
You see, if you get to this place to where you can esteem others better than yourselves, then even that co-worker in the job that really doesn't deserve a raise, and they don't do anything, they don't meet their responsibilities, and boy, all of a sudden, man, they're tooting their horn, and the bosses give them a big raise, and he hadn't give you nothing. He even shook your hand. He hadn't even thanked you for the good job that you're doing. If you're not careful, man, you'll be mad as a bull in a china cabinet.
Yeah.
Or china shop. Man, you'll go out to your automobile, you'll nearly slam the door off your car or your truck that God's blessed you with. Amen. You'll swallow the tires out of the parking lot. Man, that conflict will be going on up here. I cannot believe that my boss I gave that idiot, that infidel, that good for nothing, that low life a raise. He didn't give me one. Now, who are you?
Nobody.
Nothing.
You deserve it. Why?
Amen.
Boy, how we forgot to be thankful.
That's right.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. Let every man esteem others better than himself. Hey, man, if anybody deserves a new pair of cowboy boots, it's not me. Y'all listening to me this morning? I've been doing some heart searching lately, and all the trips back and forth by myself, I've been trying to figure out why in the world God's blessed me the way He has. I've told God I don't deserve anything. Everybody deserves far more than I've got. Man, I'm just nothing and nobody. When's the last time you really felt like that? Let each esteem others better than themselves. And if you're going to esteem somebody better than yourself, you're going to have to know something about them. You're going to have to know something about their life. You're going to have to know what their needs are. You can't hold them in high esteem, and you can't do your part of the ministry to them if you don't really know what's going on in their life.
That's right. Amen.
I left here devastated Wednesday night. Standing right up here. Standing right here. Brother Doug was standing right there. And and Miss Angelina was standing here. I know some more about what's been going on with her daddy, Brother Mike, but I really asked her on Wednesday night. And when she got to tell me the condition that her daddy's in physically and mentally, I really realized what kind of a burden that she's under. And then Brother Doug asked her, said, how old was your dad? And here's what devastated me. She said, he's only 60 years old. He's not 75 like my dad. He's 60. He used to be in construction work like my dad. And I've watched my dad this summer, Brother Mike. I've watched him, and I've told you all about it. Man, how frustrated he's been when we've been out there trying to do things, and he can't do it anymore. The doctor told me when I took him a few months ago, he asked me, he said, have you ever took your dad and had him checked for Parkinson's disease? And I said, no. And he said, you need to. He said, I've been watching him. He said, that's the first sign. And I really realized Wednesday night, Brother Mike, just 60 years old. My dad was 69 or 70 when we put this roof on the parsonage. And Brother Doug and all you guys that was there, you watched my dad. He worked harder than anybody on that roof. And Angelina's daddy's only 60 years old. And she talked about how when he tries to feed himself, he's got so bad that he throws his food over his shoulder. And I was heartbroken. I went home and I couldn't go to sleep, and I got to thinking about every family in the church. And I've tried to be faithful as a pastor and think about everybody and pray about everybody, but I'll tell you something, Wednesday night, man, me and the Lord. In one family, in one individual time, I spent all night Wednesday night, Brother Doug, when did you go get in bed? One of the things I finally told the Lord, I said, Lord, I said, I deserve everything I've experienced this year. Them folks in the church don't deserve it. Miss Donna, I thought about you. After all that you went through with your Aunt Joe, having to watch your daddy. And then I didn't realize it the other night how the Parkinson's disease affects the mind, not just the physical things, but how the mind starts going too. Everybody in this building, man, you're going through stuff. I mean, you're really going through things. And I wish you weren't. Honestly, if I could trade places with y'all, and if I could take her, if I could take the burden this morning, I would. I told my mom a few weeks ago, I said, Mom, if I could trade places with you, I would. And I would, Brother Doug, I would. I honestly would. I'd trade places with you. I've had a good life. God's blessed me. God's let me spend a large portion of my life right in the center of His will. And I'd trade places with her in a heartbeat. And if I've got 30 more years to live, I'd give her that 30 years, and I'd let God take me home today in her place. And I'd do the same for the rest of it. Why? But I don't deserve another day. But you do. I deserve the hurt and the burdens, but you don't. If you're going to esteem others, here's a challenge. If we're going to be of one mind and one accord, we're going to have to know what's going on in the families in this church.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have to know. And to know, friend, you're going to have to ask questions every once in a while. Amen?
Amen.
Miss Leak is going to have a biopsy next week. Brother Leak has got 2 teeth that's gone bad that's got to be surgically removed, that have been teeth that have kept a bridge in for years, which is going to give him a big space in there. It's going to have something done. And man, he's 80 years old. He's living off of cream of chicken soup, and Brother Mike said this morning, I knew about the soup. He told me about the soup, but I didn't know that Miss Brenda was taking his salad and putting it in a blender and making a milkshake out of it. Dear God. Him deserved that after all the years preaching the Word of God that he's preached. Do I need to go on? Let each esteem others better than themselves. To do that, you're going to pray and you're going to say, God bless my church. And when you start saying, God bless my church, then you're going to start calling families out by name. And all of a sudden you're going to understand and realize the burdens that they're under and the load that they're carrying. And you're going to start asking God to somehow let you help them carry that burden. If you can't take the burden all upon yourself, then you're going to ask God, how can I help? How can I minister? How can I be a part? How can I hold them high? What can I do? What can I do, Lord, to help relieve them? When you esteem others better than yourselves, you'll find it's awful hard to be jealous over anything.
That's right.
Yeah.
Amen.
You won't, as Brother Marc was preaching the other night, and he was talking about an individual in the church walking up and giving him gas money. That won't upset you. And you won't listen to your inner man and say, well, bless God, I'm suffering. Man, I'm just making it from one paycheck to the next. Why didn't God speak to somebody's heart to give that money to me? Well, you just said it. You're making it from one paycheck to the
Right.
next.
Amen.
Well, that's all I'm doing, preacher. I'm just getting by. Well, if you have food and raiment,
Yeah.
be content with such things as you have.
That's right. Amen. Amen.
Trying to get you to see this is a challenge this morning. It's a challenge for your Adamic nature to be put down and your inner man to be